community.
Unfortunately, the Vancouver Police Department has failed families of Indigenous women here in Vancouver for decades.
Indigenous groups and women's advocates are speaking out against the VPD's handling of the disappearance and death of Chelsea Poorman. The VPD saying when she was found that officers don't believe the death was suspicious.
The Vancouver Police Department has had a well-worn and long-standing history of discounting the deaths and disappearances of Indigenous women in Vancouver. I think if they're going on whatever evidence is available, then the response to call that her death is not suspicious would be inaccurate, and unfortunately that's what they've done.
Poorman's remains were found outside this empty mansion in Vancouver's Shaughnessy neighborhood on April 22nd. The Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations is calling for a full police investigation into her death and an apology to her family.
Poorman went missing in September of 2020 and was found dead last month wearing the clothes she was last seen in. In a statement, Chief Bobby Cameron says in part, the Vancouver Police Department must do more to investigate what truly happened to Chelsea Poorman. Chelsea's family deserves to know the truth of what happened to their daughter and sister. On May 8th, VPD Sergeant Steve Addison said with the totality of the evidence, the investigation's been completed. But when City News followed up with police on May 13th, Constable Tanya Visentin says, based on the available facts and information, there is insufficient evidence right now to suggest her death was the result of a crime. As I mentioned, the file is not closed. We are still investigating, and any leads or tips should be forwarded to police. Poorman was from Kawacatoose First Nation, and the band says how she ended up in an area surrounded by multi-million-dollar homes when she had some mobility issues is highly suspicious. Chelsea's remains were found not fully intact, and some of her remains are still missing.
At this stage, if they are determining that they don't have enough information to deem her death as anything, then they should not be deeming it not suspicious.
In Vancouver, Kier Junos, City News.